Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Okay, we're back, and our special guest is Corey Falls, and he is a candidate for Jackson County Sheriff in kind of unusual circumstance because his opponent has announced his retirement. So it looks like Corey will be the next Jackson County Sheriff. And nice to see you. How you doing, friend?
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this morning, Perry.
Yeah, you bet. And you are a Southern Oregon homegrown person.
I am. I grew up in the Valley. I grew up in Rouge and moved here in the late 70s with my family and went to Rouge School, went to Grace Christian Elementary School, and then McLaughlin, and graduated from South Medford High School.
Well, good. And you currently serve as?
I'm the Deputy Chief of Police in the City of Ashland right now.
City of Ashland.
Yes.
So, law enforcement career. So what made you pursue this position in the first place, to go for Jackson County Sheriff?
Sure, just to have a big impact on the county in general and law enforcement. I had that desire, especially growing up as a kid in the Valley,
right,
that intrigued me, the impact that a sheriff can have in law enforcement. I worked for the sheriff's office in Washington, which is the third largest sheriff's office in Washington, and was really intrigued by the county sheriff and deputies and that type of work. So that was a big pull also.
At the end of the day, you're the top cop. The way the structure comes down, and if there is any kind of a crisis, everybody diverts to the county sheriff. That's quite a responsibility.
And that's something I look forward to also. And I've built a strong foundation in my law enforcement career to prepare myself for those types of situations.
So how do you think the county looks, in the Jackson County Sheriff Department looks right now? What's your assessment of it today? Well,
when you compare it to other counties, it looks great.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our surrounding counties aren't doing as well. But in terms of our equipment at the sheriff's office, it's really good, and they've certainly just built a new facility within the last couple of years, yeah, for the deputies out in White City, and that is nice to have a newer facility.
Some have said perhaps one of the best built and equipped sheriff's department in the whole state. Would you agree with that?
It could be. I certainly haven't looked at all the metro county sheriff's offices. We often compare our Jackson County to our surrounding agencies, right, that are really faltering, and like I said, that makes us look really good. But I think it's really good, yeah, but I haven't really got in depth into some of the metro counties up by Portland.
You want to make any changes?
Certainly.
Such as?
Well, first thing I'd like to do when I get in there is there's some relationships that need to be repaired within the organization and within the community, and this is what I've learned as I've gone out and campaigned. So just repairing relationships. Need to reevaluate resources, and the third thing is require a level of professionalism for Jackson County.
The Sheriff's Department, because of our surrounding areas and lack of funds, you're called to, I mean, it's a big area to cover. You think it's adequately covered?
From getting out and campaigning, and I've been to every small city in the Upper Rogue, they would like to see more rural patrols. They would like to see more of a presence from our sheriff's deputies, and they see that lack of, and I would like to bring some ideas to help that out.
What are the biggest challenges you see?
Biggest challenges is, like I said before, repairing relationships. And just the culture change of the different level of professionalism that I'll bring.
How are we doing on the marijuana issue and the growing of marijuana, and now the potential of this law passing? I mean, what's that going to do to you guys?
That's going to be interesting. Of course, we'll follow the law, whatever is passed. I don't think that the change in marijuana laws is going to impact the black market as much. We're still going to have to look into that because there's so much money to be made. Grows they seem to come and go. Some years there's a lot, and some years they're not. So it's something that constantly has to be looked at and worked on collectively.
Okay. Are we prepared for emergencies here?
We're getting prepared for emergencies, and the emergency management falls under the sheriff's office now, which I think is a good thing. One thing you have to be careful of when emergency management falls under the sheriff's office because historically, in most counties, it falls under the county government. And that's important because emergency management encompasses more than just law enforcement. Your public health, we're looking at Ebola right now,
right,
and some of these other things that encompass all of county government. So it's bringing all those resources together to make sure that collectively we're working together to solve whatever comes at us.
So the protocol would be, if there's a county emergency, whatever level it is, you're in charge.
I'm in charge. Our county emergency, actually most county emergency falls under the county administrator.
Right.
And they're housed in the sheriff's office right now. So I would see it as a partnership working with Mr. Jordan in whatever the management would be.
Okay. Right, so here we go, and it's a big county. We have our issues, but for the most part, it seems like we are well equipped. You want to reassess some of the resources. You see an issue there?
Certainly, there's supervisors that aren't supervising people. I think that's a problem that we need to take a hard look at. I'm not quite sure we have enough detectives. There's certainly a lot of cases that our detective division is not able to get to. That certainly needs to be looked at.
How big of a force are you going to oversee?
There's 165 budget employees for the 2015 budget.
Okay, and how many of those are active deputies out in the field?
So out of that, you have your 46 approximately deputies, which encompasses your deputies in patrol. In addition to that 46, you also have 2 additional positions for your tactical narcotics team and 8 additional positions for White City that pays a special district fund for that. So and then your commanders. So you have about 60 total deputies, and then you have about 65 corrections deputies, which is another thing that has to be taken a look at.
So you want to increase those numbers a little bit?
I don't know. I don't think we have to go and increase. I'm not looking to increase anything right now. I'm looking to be more efficient with the bodies we have.
The jail. Adequate? Needs more space?
Well, I'm hesitant to say we need more jail space. Certainly they did a study with the National Institute of Corrections, did a study about 10 years ago that said we probably needed about 600 beds for this county.
No, we don't.
And
600
and I'm guessing
that's a small prison.
I'm guessing if we had that many beds, it would probably be full. But the things we need to look at is the impact to our force releases on the community. Mostly that is in the city of Medford. Why people are going to jail, how that impacts crime. Those are the things that I want to dive in and take a look at.
Wow. Okay, because I don't know, where do you go? Where do you go with the jail? Where do you go for growth? You're maxed out down there, aren't you?
Yes, and they just added, I want to say about 60 new jail beds down in the basement.
Yeah.
And that'll help a little bit. We also need to start talking about, just as a criminal justice environment together, what are we doing with mental health courts? What can we do with drug courts? Are there other things we can do collectively as a criminal justice system to help lessen that impact of the jail?
Yeah. All right, so unless something really weird happens, you'll be the next sheriff.
Well,
I mean, what could happen?
I don't know what could happen. This is my first time running, so
well, I mean, given the circumstances, I mean, Mike's going to retire out, so he finishes his term through January. All right, so that ends that term. And even though he's on the ballot, he may get a few votes, but at the end of the day, is he really a candidate? He's not a candidate, is he?
He absolutely is a candidate.
He is a candidate.
He's made it clear that if he's reelected, he's going to serve another term.
I did not hear that. Because I was asked that question on the air this morning, and I thought, well, he's announced his retirement, so I didn't know how that...
No, it was an odd retirement announcement. He announced that he was retiring, and in that announcement, he said that he was supporting me for sheriff. But he said, if I'm reelected, I will serve another 4 terms.
I did not hear that part.
So for us, that didn't change what we were doing. We were just going to continue campaigning the rest of the way. And November 4th, we'll know who's the next county sheriff.
What's your role now in Ashland? What do you do?
Our deputy chiefs, we have 2 of them now. We just promoted a second one in January 1. Prior to that, I was the lone deputy chief, which was the #2 person in charge of the police department. Fortunately for me, I've overseen every aspect of a police department. The support division, the detectives, the patrol officers.
Wow.
I'm in charge of budget and internal investigations, holding people accountable, contract negotiations, a lot of the management things that a lot of police officers don't like to do.
Book work.
Yes, yes. It's just the day-to-day management cycles of running a law enforcement agency.
Well, Corey, you're a delight. How do people get a hold of you if they want to know about your candidacy? Because the ballots are out. A lot of people are filling them out. What do they do?
A couple ways. My website, Corey Falls, 4 Sherifff.com.
Yeah.
They can read more about me, about my experience and credentials. They can also, through that website, get a hold of me on Facebook and through my email.
Okay. Best to you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. Okay, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.